You know, every weekend across South Africa, millions of people place their bets. A few click on app, a small ticket at the corner shop, and just like that, hope is on the line. Hope that this game, this spin, this prediction will finally change everything. But what if I told you that the system isn't built for you to win? It's designed for you to keep playing. Last year alone, South Africa spent over 1.5 trillion gambling. That's almost the entire value of our retirement savings as a country. Just think about that for a moment. As a nation, we are betting almost as much as we are saving for our future. Now I get it. For many people, gambling is about greed. It's about hope. It's about believing, even for a few seconds, that life could change. For some, it's just fun, a bit of entertainment. For others, it's an escape from pressure, the bills, the feelings that no matter how hard I work, it's not enough. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When gambling becomes an escape, it slowly becomes control. Not by you, but by the game. You're not betting for money anymore. You're betting for relief. For that one moment where you feel in charge again, even though you are not. The numbers tell the story. The odds are stacked against you, literally. In sports betting, multiple bets have a less than 1% chance of success. Online slots, maybe 1 in 5,000. If you're lucky, the aviation game that promises to multiply your money by 200 times, less than 1% of the player ever cash out before the game crashes. It's exciting, it's thrilling, it's designed to make you believe you're just one bet away. But here's the question I want you to sit with today. What would happen if you bet on yourself instead? Welcome to the Wealth, Wellness and Wisdom podcast. I am your host, Daddy the Advisor. Let's take something simple. Betting 500 Rand a week. That's 2,000 Rands a month, roughly 26,000 a year. Over 5 years, it's 130,000 Rands. Most people lose all of it, gone. No statement, no record, no return. But if the same 500 went into an investment week after week, quietly growing, you'd have around about 171,000 after 5 years. No luck, no jackpot, just consistency. That's the difference between gambling for a moment and investing for your life. Let's break it down. What's really happening when we gamble? When we place that 500 Rand bet, you're not just risking money, you're risking time, opportunity, and the future earning power. See, the house doesn't win because it's lucky. It wins because it's built to win. The odds on most betting apps are stacked against you from the start. You might win now, but then statistically, you will lose over time. That's not emotion, that's math. The math never lies. Now look at that 500 Rand a week again. If you bet that amount every week for a year, that's 26,000 gone. Over 5 years, 130,000 Rands. And remember, most players lose that completely. But here's the flip side. If you took that 500 Rand and invested it consistently, you'd be earning returns on returns. That's called compound growth. After just 1 year, you'd already see progress. By year 3, the growth starts multiplying. And by year 5, your investment would have grown to 171,000. Just assuming a modest 8% annual return. It's the same amount of money, just a different direction. Because gambling, your money goes into the odds. In investing, your money goes to work. And here's the truth that no betting company wants you to remember. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is what keeps you trying. Strategy is what keeps you winning. Now I know the thrill of winning can feel powerful, that instant rush when a ticket pays out. But that's dopamine, not destiny. It fades as fast as it came. Real wealth doesn't need luck. It needs time and intention. And here's something to think about if you're betting 50 Rand on 5 sports games every week. That's 250 Rands a weekly, 1,000 Rand a month. Over 5 years, that's over 60,000 Rands. But statistically, your odds of winning multiply. Bet over 5 games in less than 0.5%. That means every 200 slips you play, one might win, and usually not enough to cover the rest. Compare that to investing the same 1,000 Rands a month. You'd have roughly 73,000 Rands in 5 years, and every cent would belong to you. So, the question isn't, can you win? It's what game are you really playing? You know, the truth is most people don't think they're gambling. They say, I'm just betting 500 Rands a week. It's just fun. But here's the question. Fun compared to what? Let's pause and actually run the numbers. If you're betting 500 Rands a week, that's 26,000 Rands a year. Over 5 years, 130,000 gone. Here's the kicker. Most of that disappears within seconds. Now, imagine taking the same 500 Rands and investing it every week into a balanced portfolio, earning even a modest 8% return a year. After 5 years, you'd have around about 165,000 Rand. That's money that works for you, not against you. Wealth isn't built on chance, it's built on choices. That's the mindset shift. Every Rand you spend is a decision, not just money, but about your direction in life. Every Rand is a vote, the casino or your future. Let's talk about the odds. Because gamblers love odds, they never stop to calculate them. If you play slots, the odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 49 million. That's the same as flipping a coin and hoping to hit heads 25 times in a row. In that popular aviation game, you know, the one that promises to multiply your odds by 200%, your chances of hitting that multiplier consistently, less than 0.5%. Would you invest anything with a 0.5 chance of success? Of course not. But the game is designed to make you feel like you're almost won. The almost is the hook. It's the dopamine rush that keeps you chasing what's not real. Hope is not a strategy. Structure is. And that's where wellness comes in. Because some people, gambling isn't just entertainment, it's an escape. It's not about winning money. It's about avoiding pain, avoiding boredom, avoiding reality. But here's the truth. Escaping reality never changes it. Facing it does. Investing is facing your reality and saying, I want better, but I'll build it. Gambling is guessing, investing is measuring. Let's scale it up a bit. A guy earning 20,000 a month decides to relax with 2,000 Rand bets. That's 10% of his income gone every month. If he invested that 2,000 Rand in an annuity at an 8% annual growth, after 5 years, he'll have around about 147,000 Rand, not counting the tax benefits. Meanwhile, the gambler probably has few screenshots of his bet wins, but his bank balance tells a different story. In gambling, time is your enemy. In investing, time is your advantage. Now, I get it. The thrill feels good. The lights, the music, what if? But that's not wealth. That's adrenaline. Wealth is boring. Consistency. It's predictable. Returns, quiet compounding, and sleeping well at night. You don't need luck, you need time. I don't gamble with my future. I invest in it. You know, gambling isn't about money. It's about emotion. Most people don't place bets because they are greedy. It's not the 500 Rand. It's what the 500 Rand represents. A moment of control, a rush of hope, a quick escape from everything that feels heavy. But here's the thing. That escape always comes with a return trip. And when you come back, you're not lighter, you are emptier. You can't fill an emotional void with a financial risk. Every bet releases a shot of dopamine. It's your feel good chemical. It's the same one triggered by the likes of social media or that you've won sound on your phone. But dopamine doesn't care what caused it, only that it wants more. And that's why gambling feels so addictive. Not because of greed, but because your brain keeps chasing a feeling, not a fortune. Gambling sells feelings, investing builds futures. Let's flip it. Investing triggers different chemicals: patience, reward, and confidence. It's slower, but steadier. You don't get dopamine spikes, but you get peace of mind. And that's the difference between escape and elevation. Escape numbs you, elevation grows you. One empties your cup, the other fills it. Now let's talk wellness. Because self care isn't just about bubble baths and silence, it's about financial calm. It's about being able to rest on a Sunday without calculating what's left for the week. It's knowing your money is working while you are resting. Real self care is not escaping your life, it's designing one you don't need to escape from. Peace of mind is the ultimate return on investment. If we're honest, gambling thrives where stress lives. When life feels uncertain, betting feels like hope, but it's false hope. It's promise relief, not result. Gambling gives you the illusion of control. Investing gives you the reality of progress. Hope without a plan is anxiety in disguise. Think about it. Would you gamble your health? You wouldn't skip meals and call it a diet. So why gamble your life future and call it fun? You can't meditate your way out of financial chaos. You have to plan your way out of it. Discipline is the highest form of self-care. Investing in emotional regulation with a bank account, it's saying I'm choosing consistency over chaos. It's being grounded enough to delay pleasure today for peace tomorrow. In a world addicted to instant gratification, patience is your superpower. Don't chase the rush, build the cushion. And that's why we need to reframe what winning really means. Winning isn't doubling your bet, it's doubling your stability. It's not cashing out, it's sleeping well. Gambling tests your luck, investing rewards your discipline. Your peace is the profit most people overlook. If you've ever tried to stop gambling, you know it's not just about willpower. It's about rewiring your habits that gave you comfort. Even if that comfort was costly, you don't just quit gambling, you replace it with growth. Here's the truth: you can't remove something that gave you emotional release and not replace it with something better. That's why most people relapse. Not because they're weak, but because they never replace the feeling. You can't break a habit that still serves an emotional need. Let's talk about practical techniques, ways to take back control. 1. Shift the trigger, not just the behavior. Gambling usually starts with boredom, stress, or loneliness. So, ask yourself, what am I really looking for? If it's excitement, channel it into learning, a day trading simulator, fantasy stock games, investment challenges. If it's connection, join communities about personal growth or finance. If it's stress, find stillness, journaling, therapy, prayer, breathe work. If you don't understand your triggers, you'll keep rebuilding your cage. 2. Automate your future. Redirect the same money the same day, the same time. If you usually spend 500 Rand every Friday betting, set up automatic investment for Friday of that 500 Rand instead. It's not about the amount, it's about the pattern. Discipline is just automation with intention. Don't fight temptation, automate your resistance. After a few weeks, you'll start to see growth instead of losses. And that visual feedback rewires your brain faster than any sermon ever could. 3. Use micro dopamine wisely. When you gamble, your brain releases chemicals, rewards you instantly. When you invest, that reward is delayed. So give yourself smaller wins along the way. Track progress, consistency, celebrate your small wins, reward your behavior. Gamblers celebrate outcomes, investors celebrate consistency. Replace the rush with the reward of progress. 4. Rebuild your identity. The hardest part of quitting gambling isn't the money, it's the identity loss. You stop being the guy who always wins the slip. You lose that social badge. So build a new one. Be the guy who's always in control. Be the friend who helps others get out of debt. Your environment will start mirroring your new story. You can't build a new life with the same story. The moment you stop chasing wins and you start building worth. 5. Seek accountability. Tell one trusted person about your plan, a partner, a friend, a coach, because secrecy fuels cycles and shame thrives in silence. The first investment you make isn't money, it's honesty. Freedom begins the moment you stop hiding. Now, I want you to make something clear. This isn't about guilt, it's about grace and growth. You've already proven that you can take the risk, commit money, and chase consistency. That's investor energy. You need a new arena. You already have the discipline, it's just misplaced. The skills that make you a gambler can make you a great investor if you change direction. That's why I always say hope is not a strategy, structure is. Because gambling is all hope, but investing is all structure. Hope feels good, structure does good. If you want different results, build different rituals. Replace the hope of winning with the habit of growing. You've heard the stories, you've heard the odds, the psychology, but now the real question: what now? Because knowing isn't enough. You have to decide what to do next. Awareness is the first win, action is the second. Let's be real. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. If you can redirect even one gambling session a month into something that grows your future, you're already rewriting your story. You don't have to quit everything overnight, just start winning differently. Step 1, audit your reality. Pull your bank statement and be honest. How much has gone into bets over the past 3 months? Now, don't shame yourself, face yourself. That number isn't proof of failure, it's proof of potential. What you've measured, you can manage. Your money tells the story you've been living, but you can edit the next chapter. Step 2, rebuild the foundation. Open a tax-free savings account or a low-cost investment platform. Call it your future fund. Every rand that's used to go into chance goes into change. Your first deposit isn't money, it's belief. You don't need a big amount, you need a big decision. Step 3, get a coach or an advisor. You wouldn't climb a mountain without a guide. So why try build wealth alone? Find a financial advisor who can understand your reality, your pressure, and your pace. Not someone who sells products, someone who can build plans. Information gives clarity. Guidance gives direction. You can Google investments, but you can't Google wisdom. Step 4, redefine the rush. The same dopamine rush that used to come from winning a bet, replace it with seeing your balance grow, your debt drop, your peace return. Peace is the new high. Financial freedom isn't loud, it's quiet. You'll never see peace trending because it's the real flex. Step 5, legacy over luck. Gambling isn't about one night. Investing is about one lifetime. When you shift chasing quick wins to building long-term impact, you become a part of a new generation of builders. You can't pass down luck, but you can pass down wisdom. When you build wealth, your family inherits peace, not pressure. Every bet you skip is a brick in your legacy. So here's the truth. You don't have to be ashamed of where you've been. You just have to be curious about where you're going. Because this isn't about gambling or investing, it's about who you're becoming. Money doesn't change who you are, it reveals your values. This week, don't hope to win, plan to grow. Remember, hope is not a strategy, structure is. You don't need luck, you need time, guidance, and a little faith. If this episode hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tag a friend. Drop your thoughts below.